Your Royal Highness, what are you doing here? Are you alright? It's quite late. Are you searching for something? I know that look in your eye. You're searching for a maiden, aren't you? Or a man, but you are looking to bed someone, aren't you? Well, unfortunately for you, your reputation has preceded you, and even more unfortunately, it's quite difficult these days in the modern era of, medieval England to find anyone who isn't using the witches' network. Well, yes, of course. So the witches have created a wondrous magical connection. It's some sort of platform, let's say, where one may find men or women, or anyone in between, who wants to get between thine thighs. Yes. Okay, well, you're interested. Well, do you know who I am? No, you don't. Well, of course you don't. I mean, I've only been working for you for a few years at this point, and so, and I specifically was looking for you, but, it doesn't really matter. What matters is I can help you with this because, I have a few witch friends. They're quite, fun, let's say. But if that is the case, if you really want to, start your search with the witches through their network, we can totally do that for you. Yes, of course. Yes, it's called Tinder. Yes, like the flame. Yes. So, okay. How about this? Let us. I will guide you through it. I imagine, for one, you are illiterate, right? I mean, it's. I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I do not mean to, offend. I do not mean to poke fun of any sort. I'm trying to say that you're going to have a bit of a difficult time if you do not know how to read, right, or write. So, I shall be the person who shall help you with this, but I'm going to need a few things from you, yes? And thankfully, I have some parchment with me, and I have my quill, so we're just going to go ahead and discuss these things, okay? So, we need some basics from you, right? This is basic information that, we're going to put in this Tinder, and, so that other maidens or men can find you and, have basic information. Now, you are, of course, the Crown Prince. So it might be difficult for you to have your direct information there. So we might get a bit creative for you. Is that right? Yes. So for one, do you want to put your real name or do you want to have a fake name? Okay. That is certainly a name you could put down, but Your Highness, I'm sorry, your Royal Highness, I do not mean to offend, but that name is quite cringe. I'm so sorry. It's just you don't know what cringe is. I'm so sorry. I've been with the witches for quite some time now. The three witches, right? W witch, W witch, and W witch. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to pick a name for you because there is sort of a culture that's formed around this information in this system, and so let's just make sure that we have a proper name for you. Okay. There's no need for you to know, but once they actually find you, it will be perfectly reasonable. So, next, let's discuss age. Yes, I understand. You are quite young. You're perfectly. You're an adult, but you're searching for someone who's older, but you yourself are quite young. You don't have a lot of experience, but you like to exert your power upon those who are less fortunate, despite the fact that they're older. So, if that is the case, I will put you as your direct age. However, this does put you in a bit of a predicament. So if you put your direct age, right, how old are you? Yes. So if I put your direct age, that puts you in prime position because, these days, people live for a very long time. For men, it's probably it's around 24, right? And then for women, it's about 32. So, if we put your age, you're in the direct line of people thinking that you might die soon, right? And I understand you are the crown prince and you likely will live a lot longer, but you also might be assassinated by some political party that's, a foreign and whatnot. So it might be good for you to omit age as a complete. I can just simply not put anything in there. Yes, let's do that. I think that's a better. Yes, let's much better. Okay, the dreaded question. What is your height? Yes, that is quite dread. No. You are certainly not that tall. Listen, you might want to put your actual height. Now, I understand you are quite close to sort of that benchmark of height where people might think you're actually tall, but you really should not. Listen, the witches, for some reason, they do end up using, inches and feet as a unit of measurement. And from what I understand, you are, of course, 5'8". Is that correct? I am not going to put 6 foot. I understand that you think no one will notice, but most people will, because most people are not blind. So, and even if someone is blind, they do have their other senses, so they will be able to understand that you are in fact not 6 foot, and besides, you do not have the aura of a 6 foot. So, let's go ahead and put you as here. I'll be charitable. I'll put you as 5'10", right? 5'10" is perfectly respectable, and it's enough where you might encounter some issues if someone is your height, but 5'10" is perfect because you have people who might be shorter than you that you might be attracted to, and you might have people who might be taller than you that you might be attracted to. So it's a perfect medium spot to be in. Now, of course, 5'10" might be quite tall for, if you prefer the shorter versus the taller and whatnot, but I think 5'10" is perfectly reasonable. Okay, so now, the witches have decided that this is a network for people who are mainly searching for for many things, but vanity is something that's involved. And you, of course, as the crown prince, are quite vain. And this isn't to say this. Vanity is, of course, one of the best virtues. Please do not misunderstand me. But there is an option here to discuss and to give your body type, as well as what body types you might be interested in the future. So, if you don't want to discuss body types in the future, that's totally fine, but you can put your own body type. Now, lying here will not do you any good, Your Highness, and that's mainly because if you lie here and you say that you are one body type when you're not, it's only going to set yourself up for failure. When you meet somebody, you might really like them, and then they realise you've lied. Now, with height, lying is a bit more understandable because it's not something that is immediately noticeable, right? But with body, it could be very noticeable if the lie is quite egregious, right? So I would say put something that's very natural to what you actually are. And so seeing your body type, I would there's a whole language to these things, so I'm just going to write it down for you because I'll be honest, I don't think you'll really understand. But don't worry, I'll make sure to be very generous and kind. Now, let us discuss identity here. I understand you identify yourself as a knight, but that's not quite correct now, is it? Because you are the Crown Prince, and the Crown Prince is not really a knight. But you are a knight in spirit. Well, yes, I suppose that would be denying your own identity and self-identifying yourself, so whatever you like. I mean, if I put knight down, then people might think that you've actually done some heroics, but you've just been born into your status. So I could put prince, but I do think that putting prince might be leading the cart before the horse, so to speak. Yes, I know you don't know what that means. What I'm trying to say is that we might not want people to know you're the prince, right? And so people might. I'm going to say you're. And besides, what does that really have to do with? Who are you attracted to? Is what I'm asking. Anything? Okay. Well, let's say. Okay. Well, there is this wonderful thing called pansexual. No, not that. Okay. Why not? You don't need to. Okay. Okay. Well, if not that, we could do open. Let's say open. Is that right? Okay. I think that's pretty good. You haven't tied down a specific identity. Okay. Lastly, this is something that the witches. I don't understand why they put this as an option, but if you want to discuss your income, I understand your income is really the country's income. So, England. I'll just put England. Okay, sounds good. Okay, now this is just the basics of the profile, but so far, it's looking a bit rough, a bit shoddy, and that is, what's that? Oh, you're wondering if your brother's been using this, your older brother? Yes, unfortunately, your older brother has been in contact with the witches. He has been using it. Yes, I know. I understand. He's kept it a secret from you. Your older brother has, in fact, been mogging on us all. So I will say that, but you are the crown prince, not your older brother. I understand you have this sort of superiority complex, and it's not something that we can discuss here. Because, if I'm being honest, I did swear a vow to not speak of this. So. Anyway, let us discuss your main description, right? So this is going to be open, whatever you want to say to anybody that happens to read, to, anybody that might be interested, right? Like, what do you want to tell them? Okay, you are the crown prince. Kneel before you. Kneel before me. I'm so sorry. Yes, kneel before me. And you might keep your head. Okay. Very good. Very good. Straight into the point, and I think it, presents the direct threat that it could very well read as a potential sort of dom situation. So, it could attract some people. I'll be honest. Okay, well, if that's the main profile, let's discuss the likes then. Likes. So, like, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? What are the beheading villains? Okay, that is totally fine if you like doing that. And okay, all right. Yes, I understand that is the main thing that you do. And listen, we are running out of space at the castle with all the heads that you have, and they're all decaying. And I'll be honest, it's a bit of a bummer. It's not very good. But I'm so sorry. No, actually, it's very, very good. I don't know what I was saying before. I think the devil has taken form in my shape for just a brief few seconds. I don't know what I was saying. Okay, so beheading villains, that's one. What's next? Knighting others. Yes, that is something, that is something that you enjoy doing. There's a little sparkle in your eye whenever you knight somebody. And the last person that you knighted, she was, she was quite pretty. I honestly expected you to, go for her or something, but we all know that she wasn't exactly looking for someone like you. No, she would be lucky to have you. I'm so sorry to say. You know, I understand that I say things. You know this about me. You know, it's been a very long time since I've been, a few years since I started working for you. But you know that I say things I don't really mean. Yeah. So what else do you like? You like bedding women and men. Okay. Well, I can write both of those down, but that seems apparent. It might be redundant, and besides, no one wants to read. You know what? Someone might actually like that. I'll just write that down for you. Okay. And lastly, what's the last thing? Living life. Appropriately vague. Okay. I think that is good. Do you want to elaborate? What do you mean by living life? Seizing the moment. Okay. Oh, I'm running out of parchment. Okay, now let's discuss your dislikes. So this is, something that you are not looking for, so that when you find people, or when people find you, they can identify themselves with your dislikes and then not really reach out. Okay, so men, maidens, and others of ugly descent. Is that correct? Okay. Well, that might be quite difficult to accomplish because, in England here we do have quite a few ugly people, and it's, sometimes you have to make do with what you have, or who surrounds you. Okay. But I mean, do you think that someone who is ugly would be able to identify themselves? Yes. Okay. What else? Intelligence. Okay, so you don't want someone who is intelligent. Fair enough. I think that, you will, there's something to be said about feeling insecure within your relationship and not wanting to be outsmarted or outwitted. Yes, of course, I'm talking about you outwitting the other person, right? You're looking for someone who is on your level, right? And you are incredibly intelligent. Okay, what else? Literacy. So you don't want someone who can write or read. Okay. Well, I suppose those are skills of the working class, and you are not someone who is working classy. And I imagine that, and you find that people who read and write tend to be a bit snarky. That's perfectly fair. Okay. And what else? You dislike someone with confidence. You prefer someone who's more of a pushover. Okay. Perfectly fine and good. Okay. All right. Well, I've written down everything for you, but I do need to set up a portrait for you. We can do a few portraits, really. We do, of course, have many paintings of yours truly, but I don't want to use any of those in case we don't want them to know that you are the prince. So let's write down a few descriptors as to what we want these portraits to look like. I will pass them off to our resident artist, and they will do it for you, okay? Because, of course, they know who you are. So, okay, so you want the first portrait of someone who is looking at your sort of Tinder page to see you sort of killing someone. No. I don't think that's right. Okay, well, if not you want a fish. You want to be holding a fish. I think the maidens do not want to see you holding a fish. It's not very attractive. Oh, well, what do I know? Oh, if you want to do this, Your Highness, I am so sorry. Yes, of course. So the first one is going to be, you holding a fish, by the water. Okay. All right. What's the next one? Okay, a group photo. Photo. What is that? Okay. Okay, so a group portrait, and that's going to be you and how many? 17. So you are among 17 others within this portrait. How are they going to see who you are? They should know. Okay. And then you want just a portrait of just your torso. Okay, I can do that. I mean, you don't even want. Okay, that's fine. You know, nothing. I shall say nothing, for there is nothing to be said. Okay. Well, with this information, I think that we should be good to go. So, Your Highness, if you could stop travelling the streets in search of men or women to bed, you should perhaps go to sleep, and I shall present this information to the witches, and you shall be inundated with bodies to bed post haste. Yes? All right then. Well, your castle is that way. I know you. Yes, I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, I will see you soon, Your Highness.